How's it going, everyone? This is Fargast, and finally, we get to see the English Welcome to the Somniel trailer. This was just released earlier today, and if you were watching my Twitter, you would know that I actually tried to avoid working on an analysis video of the Japanese one, because last time I did it, and then literally a day later, the English version came out, and I felt like I probably could have spent my time better with a more accurate trailer analysis, but I tried to get it out as soon as I could. With this though, I decided to do the opposite. And the problem is that I waited for a week because for some reason, Nintendo of America waited literally an entire week before they wanted to publish this one. So we're going to go over it. I'm just going to actually do a reaction to it because I had a script kind of ready for this in the Japanese, covering the Japanese trailer, but I didn't really kind of covering that with the expectation that eventually the English trailer would come out, and then it did. So I wanted to do something kind of a little bit more casual today, which is just a trailer reaction. One, because it's easier, and two, because I'm literally moving cities on Monday and I don't really feel like writing and editing and doing a bunch of crazy work on a scripted video at the moment. I'm actually working on an editorial piece after this. So I said I wasn't going to do a scripted video until I actually moved, but that was a lie. I was inspired to write something. So that's going to be something that I do after this, maybe over the weekend, or maybe soon, on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday or something. So we're gonna go over this trailer. I'm gonna talk about kind of my feelings over it, how I feel it being so close to my castle and Fates, and yeah. So we're just gonna go over the trailer. And if you've been paying attention to Engage stuff, this might not be very interesting, but I wanted to give my opinion on it because it's what I do. So this is a long ass trailer. It's almost 7 minutes. Fire Emblem, man, what a crazy game. Anyway,
welcome to the Somniel.
I didn't know
your home.
Okay, so I didn't know that the Somniel was going to be a literal fucking resort in the sky. What the hell? That's crazy. Yeah, it's a actual just resort in the middle of the sky, which is cool. Which actually puts a lot of context for why things are just so absurd. Just so crazy in this. It really is My Castle 2022.
Home base in the
I guess 2023.
Fire Emblem Engage game. As the divine dragon, you can visit the floating fortress whenever you'd like. Whether you're taking a break or preparing for the journey ahead. The Somniel is yours to enjoy.
The Divine Dragon Resort.
The Somniel has 3 main areas of focus. Let's walk through them together.
Got the casual attire. See Lucina over there. We go for prepare for battle. Got Fogato in his casual clothes.
Focus on preparing for battle. In the plaza, you can access the armory.
We got what's Alchrist and
item shop. Be sure to stock up before heading into
one of the reasons why I didn't feel like going with the English trailer is because there was a lot of menus, and I wanted to actually see what the menus said. As far as inventories and items go. So nothing pretty, the items are whatever. We get cool in-use stats, which is pretty interesting. You get your speed, your physical attack, your hit, your avoid, your crit, your dodge. For those who don't know, dodge is just crit avoid, which they never just say crit avoid. They always use dodge. So that could be confusing, but in case you did not know that, that's what that meant. Weapon icons are back, which is sick. We love weapon icons. This is really cool. So you have, so this was teased in one of the Twitter Japanese account things where there was a staff that actually created terrain, and obstruct, I'm assuming, would be that. So it's a 10-use staff. Probably acts like some kind of light rune in the GBA games where you just create an object on the ground, which is really, really fun. You have all your tonics, and if you did not know that, tonics were, you could buy, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they were infinite supply of tonics. Maybe they were. But basically you bought a tonic and they gave you like a +2 to strength, dexterity, speed, blah, blah, blah. And those are really good for maddening runs, or sorry, not maddening. They were really good for lunatic runs, especially on Conquest. And of course, the Somniel and My Castle, they have so many similarities. Yeah, this is not even a surprise. Pure water is still broken. My like weird obscure Fire Emblem take is that pure waters are legitimately broken items. +7 res, and the bonus lasts essentially 7 turns, even though it depletes like 1 res point per turn. 7 res is insane. And pure water is only 600 gold. You can probably farm a lot of gold in this game, I'm guessing, but like pure waters are actual broken items. When it came to like certain Fire Emblem games, I felt that pure waters were not that important. Sometimes they came in the clutch. In Bloodlines, my ROM hack, which you should play, pure waters are like really important, and they're very rare. I do think pure waters are so strong that they should be more rare than a 5 stock in your fucking castle. That shit is busted.
Here, we have the ring chamber. Emblem rings you've collected are kept in this room, and you can communicate with the emblems held within.
Yeah, this was interesting. So we didn't get anything for engage weapons, but everything else we got. This was still a pretty confusing part of the trailer for me, so hopefully this makes more sense now.
Skills can also be inherited here. As your bonds with emblem...
Boucheron, Céline, Chloé, Diamant. Got your bond levels, got your skills.
Deepen. You'll be able to inherit skills from them to use in battle.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
With emblems deepen.
Perceptive. If the unit initiates combat, grants avoid +15 during combat. Avoid increases with high speed. This effect will not stack if equipped while synced with Emblem Marth.
You'll be able to inherit skills from them to use in battle. Bond rings can be created here as well. By equipping rings made from bond fragments, you'll receive a boost to your stats.
I think this is a kind of a neat thing. I don't know how or where you get bond fragments or bond rings. You might just get them from like clearing maps and shit, or like items that you pick up from the ground. I thought it was pretty cool. You get like all the art from the various like SD games, for example, or not SD, like DS games.
Bond rings can be melded together to form even more powerful rings. You can deepen your...
I think that's kind of a cool idea, I guess. I don't really find that whatever. It's definitely not like a gacha mechanic or anything like that that people were thinking. I don't think that's what's happening here.
Bonds with emblems by polishing their rings after they've been
this was really goofy when I saw
tarnished in battle.
Strange one. Overdoing things a bit?
Overdoing things a bit? So I know that a lot of my audience is probably really familiar with how My Castle worked, mechanics in My Castle worked, but in case you didn't know, like the theme of like all of the Somniel is that it's like literally My Castle, except like in 2023. Face petting was removed in the English version of Fates, and that was a mechanic that would like kind of do the same thing where you like boost support with your My Room partner or whatever. They removed face petting, and they also removed like blowing into the mic. And it was like kind of absurd. It was a really silly mechanic in My Castle, besides just talking and getting to know the person you're inviting to your room. This is like the ring version of that, where you can polish the ring and you can boost the support with Sigurd, I guess. And I thought it was, I'm pretty sure in the Japanese trailer, the ring gets polished down here, and that's where Sigurd says like overdoing things a bit. That's I think I might be misremembering it, but I just find it really funny. I don't really know how I feel about this. Is like not even that corny of a mechanic. There's a lot more things that I find pretty corny about this game's design right now. But this is kind of on the lower end, I think. I don't really, yeah, it's fine.
This door leads to the arena.
The training sigil. Standard or emblem, remaining 3 times.
Well, here, you can participate in practice battles to gain experience.
I'm pretty sure in the Japanese trailer, Vander had a hammer. He has a hand axe here. I'll be honest. Never mind.
Among other benefits.
I did it! I won!
Yeah, because they have their own individual SP, so I wonder if you can, like, I guess that makes sense, right? There wouldn't be a standard SP, like, count. It would be customizable for each character.
On the furthest point of the Somniel stands the tower.
There was a Twitter post that you could actually train emblems like the thing said over here. I thought that was pretty interesting, that you could actually, like, fight the emblems themselves to train. I don't think they have any other application as far as standalone combat goes. Unless they integrated that into the story somehow, that would be pretty cool.
Of trials.
Lord/backup. So in case you don't know, and you're looking at Lord/backup or what that means, there's different class types where you have your class, but then you also have your combat style. I think that's what they called it. There was Vanguard, backup, something else. And basically that had to do with if you were a backup subtype, then you could include yourself in chain attacks. And I think if you're a Vanguard subtype, you can defend, interrupt combat, like if you were paired up. It's kind of like their quasi pair up mechanic, which was something else in the player's hands and presumably in the opponent's hands as well. And if it does end up being in the opponent's hands, which it probably does, because there would be no point because enemy units can also have subclass types, obviously. One thing that I really, I guess, don't wish, because it was kind of difficult when it did happen, but in Fates, there was not many instances where enemies had pair-up advantages. There was some, for sure, like with pair-ups and defense and stuff, and I can think of like Takumi in like the end game, which he was pair-up on steroids for the sake of the challenge. But it makes me wonder, especially on harder difficulties, how difficult it is to have to work around the enemies being able to do everything you can do, even though they don't have any player control. Which is part of my editorial video that I'm going to release eventually, is just wondering how difficult this game is actually going to be, given that you have so many advantages. Is the game going to be centralized around emblems entirely, and everyone else is going to be shitty and nerfed and bad? Is it going to be more balanced? And is there a higher risk of emblems just really like avalanching the difficulty way too much? It's a really interesting thing to think about, in my opinion. And that's what my editorial video is going to be about. But yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling. No, I'm not rambling. This is my video. Diamond is doing a hella damage here. 36? What? Jeez Louise. Oh, never mind. That's his HP. Never mind.
Take on a series of battles to earn in-game rewards.
Fabrication. All these crystals.
Or participate in various trials, such as creating and sharing your own battle map with other players.
This is so cool. So, you guys know me, I'm a ROM hacker, I have my own ROM hack. The idea of turning one of my ROM hack maps into this My Castle Defense thing is really cool. Although I don't know if you have any restrictions when it comes to your X and Y, how long or how wide you want your map to be. This map looks like fucking dog shit, but but they're just doing this as an example. I'm really curious to make like a series on my YouTube about really cool defense maps and stuff. I do want to see if I could convert my maps from Bloodlines into something like this. Obviously, this is going to be way less sophisticated than literal customization. You're not going to have custom events. It's going to be a survive like tower defense type thing, but still, it's still really cool. You have your ballistas, a cannon, fortresses, ornaments and stuff. Whatever this is, probably like some like fire orb thing. It's still going to be really cool. Aggressively pursue foes in the range, we get the strongest. Those are probably AI things. So this could be a really cool idea. And I think it will be. I really hope there's going to be more customization.
Such as creating and sharing.
Upload your map for use. You can only have one uploaded map per Nintendo account. That's kind of cringe, but whatever.
Your own battle map.
I think it's really cool anyways.
Other players.
I would love to do a series on this, like battle maps. That sounds like a really fun idea. Yeah, that sounds awesome. If they did make a Fire Emblem maker, that would be really cool, but I don't really think you could full on make one. without, well, I guess you could, but the thing with okay, no, I'm rambling again. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. This is already 18 minutes long.
The second thing you should focus on is getting to know your allies. You might see friends and familiar faces from your travels here. They need breaks too. Deepening the bonds between your allies
Getsu. It is exhilarating to be so
is
high up.
paramount.
I feel full of energy, like I'm capable of anything.
to a successful army.
I saw you coming from way off. You're not too subtle, you know.
Chat with them every chance you get. Here we have
Bro, Louis is so jacked. What the fuck?
Cafe Terrace. You can place an order with whoever's on cooking duty and share a meal with your friends.
I thought this was funny. So again, in Fates, there was the same thing. There was an assigned cook and they had like different attributes for if they could cook well or not. I'm pretty sure Arthur was really bad at cooking everything, but there were some characters that were like really good at
You
cooking.
can place an order
And it was
with
like, wow, this is actually great. I'm gonna get a bunch of boosts.
whoever's on cooking duty.
So Ivy's the chef. Her your dining partners are Diamond and Etty. They give effects. You need ingredients, and they get likes. That's pretty cool. I like how it's organized between factions. That's pretty cool as well.
And share a meal with your friends.
Although, granted, this was also a thing in Three Houses, but I mean, it was first a thing in Awakening. No, in Fates. Did Awakening have a cooking thing? No way. No, it was Fates first.
Depending on how the meal is prepared, I hope it is to your liking.
What an exceptional meal.
You and your allies' stats might be affected in the next battle.
If Divine Dragon also gain, you get more. That's funny. I think this is an interesting caveat. If you're a Divine Dragon, you also gain. There has to be more than one recruitable Divine Dragon, like, right? Because otherwise, why would they just say, like, if Elyos, right? I'm telling you, man, there's going to be child units in this game. There's going to be child units. They're going to just drop it. And you're like, oh, wow. Here's my crazy guess. Okay? For the plot of child units, okay, you don't need to have S ranks. First of all, they're gonna can that. I don't think you can have S ranks, or S ranks only get unlocked with your partner, right? Okay, there's that. And then what the plot's gonna be is that there's some weird alternate reality where Dark Elyos takes over the world, right? And there's this other generation of these heroes, right? The Gen 2. And they go back in time from some Dragon Divine Pulse bullshit. And they're coming back and they're like, Elyos, we have to stop you from taking over the world and becoming evil. So we're the second generation of heroes who lost against the Fell Dragon. It's literally Awakening over again. That's my guess. It's not true, but imagine. Can you imagine if I was right?
Something shiny! Items you find can be given to allies as gifts.
Horse manure.
Give them
Want some horse shit
something they
back.
like to further deepen your bonds.
A bunch of just gifts and stuff.
Remarkable.
Everything else. Everything else. Okay, that's funny.
The third thing to focus on in the Somniel is everything else. At the farmyard,
This song actually slaps though.
you can take care of animals that you find out in the world.
What does that even mean? A donkey and a camel? Okay.
Bring lots of animals to their forever home,
Oh my god.
and you might be rewarded.
A rare veggie.
Speaking of animals, there's also a mysterious creature called Sami.
Wait, what's the third option?
Speaking of animals, there's also a mysterious creature
Dress.
called Sami, who has been here since time immemorial. Legend says that good things come to those who care for it.
It's so funny is that the Sami gauge on the bottom right, been here since time immemorial. The color palette is literally Lilith. And there was even like a thing in Fates where you can go to like Lilith's shrine and you would give her food and she would give you bouillons, I think. This is literally the same thing, except instead of like actual usable currency, it's Somniel currency. Bond fragments,
Purchase clothes and
which is, you know, what you use for this.
accessories at the boutique, so you and your allies can slay in style.
Wow, they really just said that.
And in the training yard, you can work out to temporarily boost your stats.
Perfect.
That's so funny. Dex +3 in the next battle. You were doing squats! Give me that strength, bro.
Other activities include fishing,
Good catch. Nicely done.
May the stars guide the way.
And the fortune teller.
and fortune telling.
Marin slipped and fell into the pond on the Somniel. Thinking of Louis.
Excellent.
La Réunion, the card of meetings. They shall meet with someone
It's nice
irreplaceable.
to kick back and focus on something other than the battles ahead. This quaint structure is
Amiibo
the
TM.
Amiibo Gazebo.
Gazebo.
Tap compatible Amiibo figures to receive useful items.
I actually have some Amiibos. I might use that.
By tapping
The Tim Hortons Amiibo.
Amiibo from the Fire Emblem series, you'll receive that emblem's attire and music from games in which they originally appeared.
Man, that song slaps. Trouble is one of the best songs in Fire Emblem. It's such a fucking banger. And it's always a banger in every game.
Whew, that sure was a lot to cover. You must be exhausted. If you ever find yourself in need of rest, you're free to lie down in your private quarters. Sometimes while napping.
Oh my god, what? Difficulty setting? Finally! Wait, how? Okay. Rest, reminisce, difficulty setting. As I sleep, I ponder how hard I want my life to be.
Sometimes while napping,
That's such a random option there.
an ally might wake you up.
Knock, knock, it's me. The alpaca hero is hero.
The alpaca hero? You have a fucking alpaca sweater? What the hell?
Morning, Divine One.
A morning, Divine One.
Gallant post the best way to start the day, right?
Rise and shine.
What a crazy
Ready to
trailer, man.
explore the Somniel on your own? From preparing for battle to connecting with your allies,
It is literally a resort. Like, what is going on here?
this truly is the place for an aspiring adventurer. Stop by when you can to make the most of your journey. Fire Emblem Engage. Available January 20th only on Nintendo Switch. Pre-orders are available now on the Nintendo eShop.
Okay, so that's the trailer. Honestly, yeah, there's a lot of Fate-inspired mechanics, whether it's Sami, whether it's accessories, or the way things get cooked, mini games, training as well. Well, training's not kind of like not really there, but there's a lot of stuff that is comparable to Fate's, which kind of just depends if you liked Fates' My Castle. I did find My Castle was a really, really fun idea. Customizing your layout with different styles. I don't think you can do that in Somniel. Castle defenses were also fun to do. And customizing your layout and then sharing it with friends. I think I literally just said that. But so one thing that I can appreciate but also have criticism of is, okay, this is all my opinion. I don't think it's a bad idea to have all these casual mini games and, oh, you can work out, gain stats for the next battle, blah, blah, blah. If you wanted to do something like this would be it, right? Like sparring or training like that, or like working on your muscles, eating, that kind of thing. I do think all the outfit customization and all of the like very, very casual attire, I think it's a little too modern for my tastes. And I say that because I think they did quite a good job of this in Three Houses. You had the sauna, which was a thing you could do, and the outfits were really ugly, but they weren't these crazy things that I would see in some resort in fucking on a vacation. That's pretty much like my biggest hang up with like everything. It's for the sake of the casual appeal, embracing the resort-esque nature of the Somniel. I do wish they just held it back on the character designs, the outfit designs a little bit more. When I see things like Cam's hoodie that you could envision yourself buying in 2023, or these really fancy, modern, fashionable things, I'm just like, bro, what era are we in right now? Granted, there's only some outfits that really strike me as like, this is like, whoa, overkill. This also speaks to some actual character designs that I feel about as well. The whole like clown, like Panette, Hortensia, and to an extent Yunaka, I just don't like how they're designed. For Panette, for example, Panette looks really, really funny, but her personality so far does not strike me as someone who is even like remotely into gothic like clown shit. In her battle preview, Tamara's like, hey, you're way different than you used to be. And then she's like not even like weirdly gothic or like kind of eccentric. She just seems like a total fucking normie, but she wears like bandages around her hand and she has like facial stitching for like makeup. Where is this coming from? My big hang up when it comes to some of these like really casual designs, where is this coming from? Is this like a normal thing in this world to just wear fucking like these weird like clown designs or whatever? Like, is this meant to be an out there, memorable, fun design, or is it meant to be that but also like something integrated within the world itself? Sometimes it seems like this game is kind of going in with character designs with like reckless fucking abandon to appeal to like a really casual crowd, right? Like all these designs they're either calling to like old Fire Emblem outfits, or they're just kind of like having as much accessory customization as possible to cast the widest possible fucking net to appeal to fans. And I don't think that's a bad thing, right? Fates did this, and Awakening to an extent did this, where you can have these customizable things. And this is like the casual aspect of the game, right? Like this isn't like story relevant whatsoever. It's just like customizing your characters or whatever. But I think there are some appeals that are deliberately a little too casual, and this is what era of Fire Emblem are we in right now type things. And I totally understand like the sentiment behind like the push-up thing or the whatever thing. I think you could appeal to both worlds more by having less modern designs for outfits and costumes and stuff. Like Sweatpants Alear, she looks great. That's the problem, right? Like these designs in a vacuum look really, really cool. In the context of Fire Emblem, it's like, what the fuck? It's so weird. I get it. I get why it would be like distracting and off-putting. It's like, why is this in my Fire Emblem game? But it's like the most casual aspect of the Somniel. It's my castle, bro. It's like the same thing. It's just a really casual mode. I'm like not a huge fan. Like, let me be really clear. I'm not a big fan of the amount of like modern clothes and stuff. I've never really been a guy who cares about accessories to that extent. I've never given a shit. I don't care. I think the callbacks to old outfits are really, really cool. I would 1000% would rather have more old games outfits instead of the actual like customizable outfits you can get 10 out of 10 times. There's no other way. But there are some glasses that literally look like they came from like a Ray-Ban's supplier, and it's like, why is this even here? But if I had the choice between like these random ass outfits or like actual callbacks to more characters than just the Emblem Lords, I'd be hella game for that. There are definitely some outfits and some character designs that I still find are really, really corny in this game, but that's all personal preference. No one's like, you can't expect everyone to enjoy your art direction and your character design direction. And every game has some characters that are just like designed really shittily, or like they look really dumb. Like they look hella fucking stupid. I think when it comes to character design, people have a natural need to defend the things they want to defend, especially for a new game where they feel more the need to defend something. There's this recency bias, but there's also, it's kind of this weird phenomenon where it happens with every game where things become less defensible as time goes on. So for example, when like Three Houses first came out, like criticizing art style or criticizing certain outfits, they were sometimes met with adversity because you're just a hater or whatever. And then over time, now I can just make fun of Fate's outfits all the time and like no one's gonna care because that game is ancient at this point. The game was released in like 2015 and like no one's gonna be like passionate about like defending some of the art direction for Fates or whatever. Well, I guess they will, but you get my point. Engage, especially because criticizing art and aesthetics are huge point of contention for this game. I do think you're allowed to criticize certain art styles and character designs and game design decisions that Intelligent Systems has made. I do it all the fucking time because Intelligent Systems sometimes makes really dumbass decisions when it comes to, you know, character design or when it comes to game design or whatever. And yeah, they're not going to hit it out of the park every time. If you don't like certain aspects of the Somniel, whether it's outfit designs or whether it's broader topics like character design or art direction, you are totally allowed to do that, because every game has problems with that, and it's what happens when you have different fucking character designers, like literally every iteration of Fire Emblem. It's just gonna happen. But at the same time, like, if you enjoy these things, then fuck, like, what else are you gonna expect, bro? Like, they literally change character designers like every fucking iteration of Fire Emblem. So you're always going to have these divisive hot topics like this. And yeah, I'm in that camp where I think there are certain designs for Engage that are really cool and certain designs for Engage that are really cringe and ugly and dumb. And there are certain design aspects with emblems that are really cool and certain design aspects with the Somniel that are interesting. And some that are just kind of dumb as fuck. So we'll see how everything actually plays out. We actually get our hands on the game. And that's kind of it for my reaction. So this actually, raw footage wise, is almost 40 minutes. I did not expect it to be this long. I just kind of rambled for a lot of it, but I had a lot of thoughts in the game, I guess. And now I'm going to trim it down and see how long it actually is. But with that all being said, thank you all so much for watching. If you did like my reaction, please leave a like and comment down below. And there will be more videos before I actually move. But if there is a period of quietness, it is literally because I am not in this apartment anymore. Please check out my Patreon down below. As moves are extremely expensive and stressful, and they take me away from my work, it would really mean a lot if you could check out the Patreon and see if you want to support, and it goes directly towards helping me out with the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.